Hey guys, all right, so we're gonna talk about something really near and dear to my heart, as you all probably already know, and that is self-concept. And I'm gonna read you two Neville quotes that I absolutely love that just really reinforce with about 1,000 other quotes he has in his works about the importance of your self-concept. So stay tuned, you definitely don't wanna miss this. Hey everybody, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I am so happy to be here with you today. I'm in the process of getting Masha trained, which is why I've paused the lives for a minute, because she was being very disruptive and she has to conform to my reality. So I want to get her trained so that she's actually behind me right now being very well behaved because I've been manifesting that. So anyways, I will be resuming those in probably, I don't know, several weeks, a few weeks, depending on kind of how she's doing with the training. All right, so before I dive in deep, check out the link in the description box for access to my free training video that I've not uploaded anywhere on social media or YouTube, and it will not ever be. And it is the #1 reason why you're not getting your SP back. It's really good. People found it really, really valuable. Link is below. It's free. I also have my Recreate Your Self-Concept and Love workbook. This is a 171-page workbook that is all about these concepts I talk about on this channel. Your self-concept and love, everyone as you pushed out, recreating the relationship you want, things like that. It's really amazing. I've had thousands of people purchase this, and 99.999% has been nothing but amazing, positive, favorable feedback. So it's on Amazon. You can get it in paperback like this, or you can get the Kindle. It's $24.99 for this version, and then $17.99 for the Kindle version. And I also have my monthly coaching group where we are on Zoom every month. I record it, catalog those episodes for you in the Facebook group that's specific to the private monthly coaching group. And then I have an audio training that I catalog as well. So every month you have the support. They're very active in there. They really have each other's backs in this group. I'm in there too, checking the posts and comments and giving feedback as well. And it's just really to reinforce these concepts and to have the community where you're manifesting your specific person and manifesting other things too, especially your self-concept, and really just having this amazing community of people who are coming together every month. We have a blast every month and it's really fun. So if you're interested in that, it's only $49 a month. You can certainly cancel whenever you want. The link is below as well. All right, so let's talk about this because this is really important. And this self-concept goes with anything you want to manifest. So wherever you're finding your natural belief system, your natural assumptions of yourself in relation to what it is that you desire, money, a certain career, a lifestyle, a certain body, physical look, personality, a specific person, love in general, it really doesn't matter. It is anything. Wherever you have a belief system that is limiting and telling you you can't have this for insert any bullshit reason because none of them are real, then this is going to be a video you need to listen to. So I want to read these two quotes from Neville. So one quote is, "Everything depends upon our attitude towards ourselves. That which we will not affirm as true of ourselves cannot develop in our life." So what does that mean? Well, that means everything depends upon how we see ourselves, what we believe to be true about ourselves. And what you are not affirming, and you continue to not think and affirm, because affirmations are just thoughts, as true of yourself, it will not develop in your life. So this is why we reprogram the self-concept, especially most, again, whatever area you have the pattern in, that's you not getting what you want. And changing the story of yourself in relation to the desire. Yes, we have to change the story of our desire if we have limiting beliefs around a specific person, of who they are, because we manifested such a shitty version of them with our shitty self-concept in the past, then if you keep holding that version of them in your mind, even while you're changing your self-concept, you're not going to get the whole shebang from them. So you really want to pay attention to your story of money, your story of people, your story of relationships, love, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest that you're struggling with, that you have had the natural assumptions that manifested unfavorable experiences. You do need to change that story. But the most important story to change is yourself, because you can't sustain what it is you desire to manifest in if you have these limiting beliefs. And really, at the end of the day, it boils down dominantly to self-concept, even with a specific person, because even if you have an old story of them that is still showing up, if your story of you is feeling rejected, hurt, not wanted, not chosen, because you keep focusing on the unhealthy version or the version that is demonstrating that, right? Then that's triggering you, that's cueing you that your self-concept is defaulting back to the old self-concept. So when you stand and ground yourself really in high self-concept, high value, high self-worth, and you really believe and buy into dominantly, it's never perfect. Remember, even secure people have moments of insecurity. Confident people have moments where they do not feel confident at all. That is normal. It's just the dominant way you see yourself, the dominant assumptions you have about who you are in relation to this desire need to be steadfast and dominantly unwavering, again, as much as you possibly can, to know how incredible and amazing you are. Because when you understand that even when this person's not showing up on point, your dominant natural assumption about them will be, oh, they'll get it together and come back on point, or they'll get it together and be X, Y, and Z, not even worried, because of who you are and what you're revaluing about yourself. So you have to think new thoughts about you. And the first step in doing that is to actually be aware of where your mind is going throughout the day, where your thoughts are, like really observing them and then changing them. You have to train your mind to focus on a new story of you, because your brain has been focusing on an old story of you pretty much your entire adult life when you've manifested these outcomes over and over again. So the next quote, I love this quote, is health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind, that is, by your concept of yourself. And your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to is true. So when we start reprogramming our mind and we're thinking new thoughts and we don't believe it, and you have that resistance because your belief system, which is in your subconscious mind, is saying, no, I don't get what I want. No, I don't deserve this. No, this is what I'm used to feeling and thinking about myself, that I am always rejected. I'm never chosen. I never get, the money, or money, I'm always broke, whatever the story is, right? So when you start affirming and thinking and focusing on the new story, you don't accept it as your truth yet. So this is why the repetition is really, really important. And at the end of the day, I always say this, try techniques, because techniques can help shift you quickly, but you have to think new thoughts, because manifesting with techniques is not enough. You won't sustain what you want if your dominant thought pattern all day, especially when you're triggered, usually with specific persons and even money coming into your life, will show up, because you have to reprogram the mind so that the new belief system is different. So this is why self-concept is so important. There is no one to change but self. You really have to revalue your story of you and change how you know yourself to be, change how you see yourself. And it takes time. Now, it's different for everyone. This is why you don't want to compare yourself to others' journeys. You only want to compare yourself from where you were yesterday to today, where you were a year ago to today, where you were a month ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago to today. There's always movement in you in this beautiful transformational experience. So this is how you really keep moving forward and getting closer and closer to sustaining what it is that you want, is by going within and changing your story, thinking the new thoughts. You're breaking the habit of needing your specific person or some evidence in your 3D realm through that you experience with your five senses to tell you what your self-concept is. You're going to tell yourself, no, this is who I am now. This is what I choose to believe about myself now. This is what I am focusing on now. This is who I am becoming. This is what I would desire to experience. This is what I am experiencing. This is what I'm going to experience. However you want to word it, you'll still get what you want, because it's really about moving your mind to focus on thoughts that support the end game of what it is that you desire, and you shift. See, most of you, when you start affirming self-concept, we know we don't believe the new story. That's okay. You still will feel usually the dominant state that you used to be, whether it's rejected, not chosen, unloved, sad, lonely, whatever it is, angry, resentful, jealous, insecure. All of that's still going to show up because that's still your dominant self-concept. So you just keep reprogramming yourself, especially when you're feeling those things. When you're feeling those things, they're letting you know, oh, I got a dominant old story that's kicking in, that's saying something negative about me. Because if you're assuming the worst about your person, if you're assuming the worst about money, if you're assuming the worst about your life, then that means your self-concept is not favorable. Because when you dominantly know your worth and value, when you dominantly know you deserve X, Y, and Z, then even when the 3D reality could show you the opposite, or it's showing you nothing favorable yet, it doesn't even have to be the opposite, but you're definitely not getting what you want in this current moment. You don't look at that and say, oh, that's Bible. Oh, that's truth. Oh, this is facts. This is never going to change. You look at that as, okay, it is what it is. And then you keep going within, trusting you're investing your mental thoughts into the new reality that you will experience one day. That's what we're doing here, guys. We're not doing this to, I don't like what I'm having, let me just affirm, so all of this can shift outside of me like this. No, you're like, oh, I don't like the way I feel, because when I look at my 3D and it's triggering a story in me that says I'm not good enough, I'm not loved, I'm not wanted, I'm never gonna get what I want, I'm losing in this game. You're changing that story that's causing you to feel like shit and to lose hope and not trust and believe that you can have everything you want because you are deserving and worthy. So you keep going within and redirecting your focus internally in your mind away from what is out here as best as you can. It will never be perfect because we're human. You will have moments you will react. You will have moments that you might pay a little bit too much attention of what's going on unfavorably in your reality, because that's how we've been trained to focus on problems, to keep, thinking about the problems, trying to figure out a way to solve it rather than just jumping in the solution, trusting in the unseen, trusting in the power of our minds. That is what we're all shifting here and changing, and you have to change your concept of self so that everyone around you has to conform and see you that way. And then you're able to naturally assume favorably for yourself when you understand how amazing you are. See, when you know you're worthy, when you know you're the fucking top choice, the best one out there, nobody else can beat you, because there is no competition in your reality, by the way, that you are the best one. Everyone loves you. Everyone knows this about you. Everyone can't stay away from you. Everyone loves to be around you because you're so amazing and magnetic and irresistible, especially to your desires. When you know that, and then you say, let's say your 3D reality is showing you the opposite, like with a specific person, you'll look at that and like, it's not what I want, but I know I'm gonna get what I want because of who I am. They have no choice to see me as amazing and worthy, and it'll click for them, and then they'll come in on point. And we really don't have to deal with the middle. See, this is something that's really interesting too. When you look at the story of the doctor's wife that Neville talked about, where their end result was they wanted to build an apartment building and have it fully rented out and not pay up front. They wanted to pay whoever built the building and got everything together. They wanted to pay for it on the back end. Like once the unit or the building was filled, all the units were rented, then they could pay back whoever was going to make this building. So they were living in the end. In the beginning, the doctor's wife started going out and seeking a construction worker, and then they caught themselves and said, hold up, if we already had what we wanted, we wouldn't need to look for the construction worker. And then that construction worker that she actually was interested in came knocking on her door several weeks later saying, hey, I drive by your property every day for years, and I never had this thought until very recent, because everyone, as you push out, thought transmission is real. And he tells her, I want to build, you need to build an apartment building. So he had to conform and came to her, but he didn't come to her fully conformed. He was giving the doctor and his wife what they wanted, but not the way they wanted it. Meaning he was requiring them to put money up front to fund the project before it was built and rented out. So they declined, and they kept going within their mind and living in the end, trusting in the unseen that this reality will keep rearranging and shifting to bring them exactly what they want. And this construction guy came back to them multiple times. I can't remember if it was like 3 or 4 different times. And he was offering them more of what they wanted, but it still wasn't exactly what they wanted. And they kept saying no. They kept declining the offer. They weren't fucking with the middle. They weren't settling. They weren't like, yeah, you know what, I'll just take that. I'll just take that. Even though it's not my full manifestation, I'll take it. No, they believed in the power of their mind. They knew they could get what they wanted. And they persisted in the end, knowing they were going to get what they want. And because their self-concept was really high, and believing in they are the God of their reality. They are the operant power. They are creating this experience for themselves. And so they will persist in that until that experience exactly shows up. And that's what happened. He came back and said, okay, we're going to front load everything for you, build everything, and you just pay on the back end. And then that's when they agreed, and they got their apartment building built, and it was rented out the way that they desired. And even this one particular tenant that they wanted to walk through, who had stopped talking to them, so it was a specific person they manifested, a woman in their community that had kind of turned their nose at them because they were into Neville, and she was like high society, you know, haughty toddy or whatever, right? And they were visualizing and affirming that she will do the final walkthrough. And I don't quote me on this. I haven't read this story in a minute. I think that they wanted her to rent the final unit, and that's what happened. So they manifested the specific person. They manifested the experience that they wanted. They didn't look at the 3D reality when the construction guy was coming to them and saying, okay, I got part of your manifestation, but not all of it. Will you accept it? And they didn't let that shake their story of them. They didn't say, oh, you know what? I'm not the operant power. Maybe this is all that I can get. They stood steadfast, if that makes sense, in their believability in the end of what they wanted, and they persisted in that until it literally hardened into fact in their 3D reality. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys later. Bye.